Good morning, class. In today's class, we're going to see about the subdivisions in parts of speech. So, we saw that there are 8 parts of speech, and they are noun, adjective, verb, adverb, pronoun, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. So, in today's class, we're going to see the kinds of nouns. So, what are nouns? Noun are basically naming word. Name of a person, place, animal, thing. So there are 5 types of nouns, and they are proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. As you can see, they're broadly divided under 2 main categories. So, what is a proper noun? A proper noun is which denotes a person, a thing, or place in particular. For example, Beulah went to school. So you're talking about Beulah. Tamil Nadu. So, which is in specific. Out of a lot of states, you're talking about Tamil Nadu. So, that way, when you're meaning something in particular, there is a parrot sitting in the tree. So, it's not just a bird. You don't say there are birds sitting in a tree. So, you specially mean it's a parrot. Especially, you're telling it's a particular species of a bird, which is parrot. So, proper noun is something that you talk in particular. Common noun. A noun which denotes a person, a thing, or place in general. There are birds in the tree. So, here, birds, which is a general thing. You don't know what type of bird it is, what species it is. You're just commonly telling there are birds. We grow a lot of animals in a farm. So you don't know what animal you're talking about. So you're talking in general. Boys are going to the canteen. So here, boys. So it's a general thing. Collective noun. A noun which denotes a set of person, thing, or place in a group. So basically, police, army, crowd, people, committee, a bunch of key, a herd of cow, a flock of bird. So these things which denote a group are basically a collective noun. Material noun, a noun which denotes a raw material of a product. Basically, gold, silver, fiber, diamond, wood, clay, cotton, iron. So these things are material noun. So a material. So it's obvious from the subdivision itself, right? Okay. An abstract noun. Abstract noun is which denotes the thing which can be only experienced and not to be seen. So these are basically like your emotions, something that you can experience but not see. Not typically you can't see. So basically, even beauty, these things come under the abstract noun. Childhood, beauty, luck, charity, anger, jealous, honest, pride, happiness, sadness. So these innate things. So these things are under the category of abstract noun. So all your emotions basically. So something that you can't see and something you can feel. So these things are your abstract noun. So let's sum up. So noun is basically split into 5, which is proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. So proper noun is something in particular. Beulah went to school. Parrot is sitting in the tree. I saw a cow in the morning. So these things are particular noun, pronoun, proper noun. Proper noun. So you're speaking about them in particular. Common noun is something in general. Birds flew. So you don't know which species of birds. So you're talking in general. Girls are talkative. So basically, these are common noun. Collective noun. Collective noun is like army, police, crowd. There is a big crowd in the shop. So, crowd, which means there are a lot of people standing there. So, it's a collective noun. Material noun. Material noun is all the materials basically, which is like silver, gold, fiber, diamond, and all. An abstract noun is something that you can experience and feel but not touch. So these are abstract noun. For example, patience, childhood, darkness, chemistry. So these things are your abstract noun. Now, pronoun. Pronoun is divided into 5, which is subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, possessive adjective, possessive pronoun, reflective pronouns. The reflective pronoun is not in the textbook, but still, let's see. So basically, pronouns are substitution for your noun. So for example, when you say Beulah is a good girl, Beulah goes to school, she goes to school every day. So instead of Beulah in the second sentence, you use the term she, which is a pronoun. So for a first person, you say I am a good girl. So I represents me. So if you have to hear it from a second person, which is someone who's talking to you, you are a good girl. So they won't say I am a good girl, they say you are a good girl. So you is a second person thing. So if you have to hear it from a third person, which is not your speaker but someone outside, they say she is a good girl. Someone who's not in that current conversation, someone outside, so the objective person, they say she is a good girl. So she here is a third person's view. So the subjective pronouns are basically I, we, you, they, he, she, and it. An objective pronoun is basically me, us, you, them, him, her, it. And possessive adjectives are my, your, his, her, our, their, its, your. So these things are possessive adjective. Possessive pronouns are mine, yours, his, hers, ours, theirs, its, and yours. And reflective pronoun is myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourself, yourself, and themselves. So here's an example. Shobha always loves dancing. She wants to go to dance school. In the above example, the word she replaces noun Shobha. So the word she is pronoun. So the subjective pronoun. Subjective pronoun is a personal pronoun that is used as a subject of a verb. And I told you the examples. An objective pronoun is basically a type of personal pronoun that is replaced a word with a object. Like me, us, you, them, him, her, it. For example, he helped the old lady. He gave her food. So he helped the old lady. So here he is the subject and old lady is the object. So here the pronoun is replacing the object. He helped the old lady. He gave her food. So here her is the objective pronoun and her old lady has been replaced with the word her. So that's how it goes. And possessive adjective, to show something belongs to somebody, and possessive pronoun to replace the possessive adjective. Possessive adjective, example, my shirt is green. My shirt. So possessive pronoun is green shirt is mine. So this is how it goes. Okay. Verbs. Actually, there are a lot of subdivisions under verb, like action verb, linking verb, auxiliary verb, transitive verb, intransitive verbs. So these are some of the modes here: indicative, imperative, subjunctive. So these are modes of verbs. As per in the textbook, verbs are divided into two main subdivisions, that are transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. So basically, transitive verbs are verbs that expresses action with an object. The object of a transitive verb can be a noun, pronoun, or a noun, clause, or phrase. For example, I threw a ball. So here, noun as a object. I threw a ball. We beat them. So here, pronoun as a object. I think that you are correct. So noun, clause as object. Intransitive verb. Intransitive verbs are verb that expresses action without an object. Some of the examples are I ran swiftly, I ran in the race. So these are some of the intransitive verbs. There's something called an action verb. So basically verbs are action words. So action verb is expressed a mental or physical action. Like he tasted the ice cream. So tasted here is a action verb. Run, jump, work. So these and all come under the action verb. Linking verb. Linking verb is a verb which links or establishes a relation between the subject and a term in the predicate which describes or renames the subject. It does not show action but rather it links. One way of testing for a linking verb is to replace the verb with the appropriate form. If the sentence is still saying pretty much the same thing, the verb is a linking verb. So basically, be, appear, become, feel, seems, smell, taste, and sound. These are some of the examples for it. The ice cream tasted good. So here, tasted is used to help good describe the subject, right? Okay. Auxiliary verbs. An auxiliary verb combines with other verb to help form the tense, mode, voice, condition of the verb it combines with. Basically, auxiliary verbs are called as helping verbs. The verb to have, to be, to do, will, shall, would, should, can, may, might, could are some of the common auxiliary verbs in English. Auxiliary verbs are sometimes called helping words, as I said, and in the last sentence, are is the auxiliary verb in the passive phrases. So, we saw that verbs are mainly classified into two, transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. So, the types are indicative mode, imperative mode, subjunctive mode. Verbs can also be action verb, linking verb, auxiliary verbs. Let's have a small sum up. So here, noun is divided into 5, which is the proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. Pronoun is again divided into 5, which is subjunctive pronoun, objective pronoun, possessive adjective, possessive pronoun, reflective pronoun. And verb is classified into 2, which is transitive verb and intransitive verb. Transitives are verbs that express action with object. Intransitive are verbs that express action without an object. Like I ran. So there isn't an object, right? But transitives are like I threw the ball. Here is object. The ball is an object. I threw. Threw is the verb and ball is an object. I threw the ball. And in intransitive, I ran. So there's no object. I ran swiftly. Swiftly is an adjective. There's no object again. So I ran swiftly. So here again, there is no object. So this comes under intransitive verb. So I hope you understood the lecture. And if in case you aren't clear about any of the topic, feel free to rewind it and watch again. So we'll meet you in the next class. Thank you.